K-pop has been on my peripheral radar for a few years now, but I didn't really feel any special affinity towards the genre until this past year I became totally obsessed. I think before that I associated K-pop fandom with like problematic Koreaboo teenagers on YouTube, which is pretty off-putting. I'm pretty eclectic with the music I like. I grew up on 70s and 80s punk and hardcore, and I played in various punk bands throughout my 20s. Well, I at least know this isn't copyrighted. So yeah, this is basically like the opposite of K-pop. I still love punk, but I grew out of my like elitist phase of shitting on people who like mainstream music. I started appreciating the different kind of artistry involved in creating pop music and its focus on aesthetics and collaborative production. It's not uncommon for pop songs to have like 10 plus different writers and producers on a single track. This fact is often used to diminish the authenticity of pop music, but there's nothing intrinsically less artistic about people collaborating on a music project that appeals to a mass audience. Pop music is actually pretty fucking remarkable in its ability to captivate millions of people from all different cultures all over the world. It gets thousands of people to fill a room and have a borderline spiritual experience watching their favorite pop stars perform. It's a refuge from the existential despair that is daily life. So yeah, K-pop started really piquing my interest when I started seeing headlines and buzz around BTS. This one in particular, by Dazed, how BTS's androgynous fluid style is empowering teens worldwide. This article was actually written by a teenage fan, I believe. To describe BTS as being queer or androgynous is not to assign a specific sexuality or identity to any of the members. Instead, it's about describing the fluid nature of their aesthetics. In the band's music and performances, they flow between languages and styles, mixing Korean, English, Japanese, and I can't say this right now. So the article inspired me to do a little more digging into BTS, and I watched their video for Idol. It's definitely different from what I expected, and I was like, shit, okay, this is pretty cool. And aesthetically, it's just, all over the place. The shark at the end gets me every time. And yeah, it's literally like every sound, aesthetic, culture is put in a blender and comes out tasting like a mystery flavored airhead or one of those like weirdly flavored jelly beans that your palate initially doesn't immediately understand, but then it grows on you and you start craving it. So yeah, I was like, okay, I see the appeal here, and I thought it was really great that they had like a positive and aspirational message for young people. But I wasn't a stan yet. I think people forget how important and powerful music is to kids and teenagers, especially ones who don't necessarily fit in. I didn't have any friends or life and was bullied to the point of dropping out during a large chunk of my formative years, but music was my first exposure to the idea that there are other people in the world like me. And knowing that fact is incredibly powerful when you believe you are utterly alone and defective. I think that's what people mean generally when they say music saved their life. A few months after my initial exposure to BTS, I was browsing YouTube's trending page and I saw Blackpink's Kill This Love at the top slot. I didn't immediately love the song, but I was very impressed by the aesthetics, choreography, production value, etc. A few weeks after that, I was watching a fashion show on the FF channel. I was really digging the song playing, so I checked to see who it was by. The song was Boom Baya by Blackpink. I thought it was a stupid name / chorus, but the bridges before the chorus were so beautiful it practically moved me to tears. And the rap parts were catchy as fuck. That was the moment I became a K-pop stan. I became instantly obsessed with Blackpink. I fell in love with their maddeningly small discography, and I ravenously consumed all of their music videos, live performances, interviews, everything. I became infatuated by the members, who are all perfectly stunning and talented. They're from all over the world. They're from all different fucking countries, which gives them this kind of like super group kind of feel. But yeah, I became infatuated with Lisa in particular. And given that she's like 12 years younger than me, it makes me feel a little creepy, but come on. I even printed out like pictures of them at the local print shop to make a collage, like the fucking maniac that I am. So, what exactly is so great about K-pop, you may be asking yourself? Peekaboo. K-pop kind of reminds me of the British musical label PC Music. They've taken the like hyper-produced, ultra glitzy, sugary sweet, consumer-driven pop music to its logical extreme, and in the process developed its own distinct sound and like characteristics that sometimes cross the line into absurdity in the best way possible. As I've gotten older, I found myself increasingly turned off by the elitist and ultimately classist idea that there's such a thing as good taste in music. I like K-pop because of its lack of pretense, its indulgent, opulent aesthetics, elaborate storylines and concepts, airtight fucking choreography, fashion, surrealist high-budget music videos, and seemingly endless supply of superhumanly talented individuals who just happen to be beautiful and speak 30 different languages. K-pop as a term describes a formula more than it does a specific genre. The industry is dominated by a handful of companies that sign aspiring idols on as trainees at a relatively young age, or actually, like a young age. It's a situation that's ripe for exploitation. And then the trainee trains like a fucking Olympic athlete for years until they've honed in on their skills enough to debut with a group. The groups are generally assembled around a concept or storyline, and the members are carefully selected to fulfill like a specific purpose within the group. So K-pop groups can have anywhere from like 4 to even like 30 different members, which isn't something you normally see with Western artists. Like even the boy and girl groups tap out at like 5 members. But now that I've been on this shit for a few months, my brain is used to seeing these large groups to the point where solo artists actually seem like they're missing group members. I mean, solo pop stars tend to have backup dancers and singers, but they are anonymous and interchangeable to the viewer. In K-pop groups, the dancers, backup singers are built into the group, allowing their individual personalities and talents to shine. Luna is a good example of how different K-pop groups are from Western artists. Their whole concept is fucking ridiculously ambitious, and it's built around a fictional universe called the Luniverse. I'm not a full-blown orbit quite yet. There's a lot of material to dig into here. But I came across them because I'm a fan of Grimes. I've been a fan for hers for a long time. So I believe she is a fucking genius who is always 20 steps ahead of everyone else. And she produced their song, I think it's called Love Forever. On not a complete side note, on a fucking side note, it is fucking infuriating that since Grimes started dating Elon Musk, she's been exposed to this like entirely new segment of the population who have denigrated her as being some kind of like weird like gold digger, which is I'm fairly confident saying the fucking opposite of the truth. If anything, her dating Elon Grimes has hurt her career and image. Anyway. Alright, so I think I've kind of summed up why I love K-pop and think it's so great. But now I'm just gonna freestyle some things that I don't like. I don't like the like super dystopian capitalist element to it. Like Like, we're all waiting for Blackpink to have their big comeback, you know? And what they do is they put out a song they made for a commercial, you know?
Awesome screen, awesome camera.
And they're constantly like being used in commercials and selling products, and you know, and there's nothing intrinsically wrong with that, but it is like, and it's, you know, just as common in, well, it's common in American music for, you know, music artists to sell you stuff, but it seems like it's taken up like 20 notches in South Korea. Another thing I can do without is like the way that every single song, the chorus is just the name of the song repeated. For example, Blackpink. Title, Boombaya. The chorus, Boombaya. Boombaya. Boombaya, ya, 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 ya. Boombaya. Opa. And then, do is, hit you with that, do. Hit you with that, do. Hit you with that, do. And then, let's kill this love is, or kill this love is, let's kill this love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's kill this love. Yeah, 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 yeah. And, you know, it's just kind of like that with like a lot of K-pop songs I've noticed. A lot of times also, not necessarily in the Blackpink examples, but it's like the songs, I think it's cool how they use different languages and how they incorporate like English phrases, but you know, just one or two English phrases is enough for me. It doesn't have to be the title of the song and like the chorus, you know. I don't know, just seems like there could be a little more creativity there. And then on top of that, all the fucked up shit in the industry, with like slave contracts and, you know, the young people being exploited and the like prostitution rings and all that fucking like weird dark shit that goes along with that. And the way that companies exert control over the artists is also fairly dystopian. Like, it's like a fucking Black Mirror episode. And in some ways, that's part of, I don't want to say it's like part of the appeal of K-pop, but it almost makes it like this, I think for like the average American who struggles to empathize with other cultures, it probably seems like this soap opera that they follow, you know, with like conspiracy theories around it. Kind of like the artist like Poppy, how it's like, ooh, maybe it's a fucked up situation, but let's all try to find out. You know, which I've got some thoughts of that situation too. Maybe I'll make a different video. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else to add to this. I'll probably make more videos on K-pop because I just don't really have a lot going on in my life right now. So, alright, thanks for watching. Bye.